Now that we have stuff in our Google Drive, we have to share it with other people in order to collaborate or just share information. So whenever we have a file in Google Drive, there are kind of two ways that we can start sharing. One is to select the file, and then we'll get some icons on the top right. We can share with a link, add individual people, there's a preview, trash it, and some other options. The other thing that you can do is right-click on a file, and you get the same options, just with some words and some labels. So I'm going to click on the share button. And the next screen, it'll be the typical share menu options that we see in Google. It'll have people, and it'll have a spot where we can enter someone's name, and we'll have a drop down with the people from Lake County Schools. So I'm going to choose Jane's name, and her icon will also pop up. So that's one reason why we like to have picture icons for our profile, so that we can have people see our faces so they know exactly who they're sharing it with. Please know that if you type a name into this box to search for someone's name, you might also get students, because we have teachers that are trying to share files with students. So be very careful about who you're sharing this with, because student names will be in all capital letters, and it'll also say their student email address. Over on the right, once you've selected somebody to share your file with, there is a drop down next to the pencil icon. Right now, Google is assuming that I want to share this file with Jane with edit rights. That's why it's the pencil. If I don't want that, because maybe I don't want Jane to change my document just yet, I can choose edit rights, comment rights, or view rights. Edit rights are going to be for anyone that I've added on this file. They can make all the changes to the document. They could delete the whole document if they want to. So I have to really trust that the person is going to do the right thing. If I choose comment rights, that icon will be a speech bubble with lines in it, and that means that the user will not be able to make changes to the actual document, but they'll be able to leave me their feedback. It'll show up in the form of comments on the right side of the screen, and they're kind of like post-its in the margin. The last option is can view. A lot of times you'll see the eyeball. That means that people can look at this document, they'll be able to see any changes because it's live, but they won't be able to edit or leave comments or any feedback. We like to think about this in terms of PDFs. A lot of people will try to give PDFs to students or parents or other people, and what they're really going after is that they don't want people to make changes to their document. If you do a Google Doc with view rights, it's kind of the same thing, except everyone that's accessing this document with view rights, they will be able to see the changes that you've made. You don't have to re-upload the file or re-email the file. So we highly encourage people, if you want to give a Google Doc, give anyone else view rights to this document. It's up to you if you want to notify people. This will just send an email automatically from Google saying that this user has suggested you edit this file or shared a file with you. You can turn that off if you want to. And when you say OK, it's going to send the information over to that person. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to skip sending an email? Because it always wants to email. You can say OK. Now, if you do this and you make a mistake, it's not a problem because we all do that. All you have to do is go back into the share settings. So I'm going to right-click on that file again, click on share, and then I go back into this screen. Now I've already shared it with Jane. I want to change what I've done. What we suggest is clicking on the advanced button in the bottom right, and you'll be able to see everyone who's on this document. You'll see a giant list of their names and the icon as to what they should have. View rights, comment rights, edit rights. You can switch it here. Or if you have a problem, you can always use this X next to their name so that you can remove them from the document completely. At the bottom, there are some additional settings for the owner. If you create this document, you are considered the owner. If you upload the document, you again are the owner because you're the one that's kind of creating that file in the Google Drive. You have two options that are unique to the owners of the documents. You can prevent editors from changing access and adding new people. We like to think of this as kind of stopping the chain letters, because if I gave Jane or someone else edit rights and this box is unchecked, it means that they could share it with another person. The other person could share it with more people. If I check the box, then it limits the people from sharing. So I, as the owner, am the only person that can add people onto this Google file. I am in control. The bottom option is to disable the ability to download, print, or copy for anyone that has view rights or comment rights. If I check this box, then I'm kind of forcing the users to come into my Google Doc to see the latest and greatest, to always see what's going on. We highly recommend this for any documents that are changing often, like say the bell schedule or any kind of schedule, because we want people to not print it out and then never go back to the document that's always changing. We always want people to go back to the Google Doc so they can see the live changes. That way you don't have to send email after email saying there's been a change, there's been a notification. People will just start learning that they need to always access the online file so they can always see what's new. At the bottom, we're going to save our changes. And then you can say done to make that change stick. The last option or last way that we can share this file is maybe we want to share this file with a lot of people and we don't want to have to enter each person's name in manually. We share via a shareable link. So we right click and you have two options. You can do the get shareable link, or if you're in the same share menu, you can always click where it says get shareable link. When I click on this chain link icon, it's going to turn on that link. And I get a few options. It defaults to anyone at Lake County Schools with this link will be able to view the file, which is pretty safe. Again, people can't edit the file. It's going to be secure. But if I want to change that, I can click the drop down, and then I can choose one of these options where anyone at Lake County Schools could edit, which I have to be careful about that, or can comment. I do want to say that if I ever choose this option at anyone at Lake County Schools, they need the link. It's not just available in everyone's Google Drive. It's not there for some random elementary, middle, or high school teacher to find. It is going to be still safe. Someone has to have the link in order to edit this document. But if you ever want to change these options, you click the drop down and check out more. Some people will say, I want to share a file with parents or somebody outside Lake County Schools. For that, we highly suggest choose the option for the link is on and anyone, so people outside Lake County, can access this with the link. We don't necessarily put it out public on the web. We want people to have the link in order to click on the link and access this file. And then you'll see toward the bottom what options you have. Do you want people with the link to view, edit, or comment? Most of the time, if we're doing stuff outside the district, we want can view. We don't want outside people editing our document or commenting on it. But that is up to you. You just choose the options there and click save. One thing I do want to tell you though is that if you ever make a mistake or need to make a change to this link, whenever you click copy, you can copy and paste this into an email, but if you ever make a change, this link does not change, which is really nice. So let's say anyone with a link can view. I don't want that. Maybe I want to secure it down to anyone at Lake County Schools with the link can comment. I want to make a change to it. When I click save, that link is always the same, but Google knows how to update the privileges and it changes it automatically. That way you don't have to send more than one email saying I made a change to the link so that you have the proper access. You don't have to do that. Google does it in the kind of behind the scenes. So if you ever run into an issue, it's very easy to fix or change. Again, if you need to make a change in your Google Drive, you want to right click on a file, click on the share button, and the best options are either look at the top part for the shareable link and make changes there, or click on advanced. Those are most of the share options in Google. One last thing I want to mention, just as a visual reminder, is that anytime you share a file, you'll see these little people icon to let you know that this file is being shared. Other files where it is not shared, it's just me on the file, you will not have that icon next to it. So those are your sharing options in Google Drive. There's one final thing that I think is worthy to note, that when teachers want to find out if students have been sharing files with other people, there is a way to check inside of Google Drive. We basically find that file and click on it so that we can get to the information button, which is the eye inside of the circle. When I look at information, I have two tabs. There's details and activity. Under the details, I'll see a thumbnail of the document, and then I'll see some nerdy information that no one really cares about, such as like location, when it was first created, and all that stuff. Most teachers have told us they like the activity tab because this is a timeline of everything that's happened with this document. So it'll tell you who created the file, who's edited or commented on the file, if there's been any privilege changes, meaning someone has shared it with someone else so that they can cheat, copy, whatever it is, you'll see that information here as just one giant timeline. And this timeline can't be changed. You can't have a student delete parts of it. It's always tracked and logged. So that's why we always say that there are no secrets in the Google. And the activity part of the information panel is really valuable to see what's happened in this document over time.